Hello, this is Kitten. I'm recording this video to go along with my proposal to the Comfort and Joy board about Two Spirit Queericulum / Momentum and our budget request. So what I'm going to do in this video is thank Coco for some things that he should definitely be thanked for. I'm going to summarize the proposal. I'm going to contrast what we're doing this year with what happened in 2020, the last time we did curriculum. And then I'm going to talk about ways Comfort and Joy can leverage all of this. You can get all kinds of good things happening out of this that can be very helpful. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about what it all means. But that all comes last. I'm going to get theory last for all those impatient girls who want to get to the meat right away. So first of all, I want to talk about Coco. He definitely deserves thanks because he reprimanded me on something I needed to be reprimanded on. I used an old version of our logo, and as a graphic design person, that is a no-no, and graphic design standards matter, logo consistency matters. We've done revisions for reasons, and so what am I doing using a logo from back in the day? That is not good. So sometimes I get certain things wrong and I need people to point things out. So thank you, Coco, for that. I'm committed to being positive around all this stuff because I really am optimistic about all the things we have in front of us. Let me summarize this proposal. The proposal is just that, we find a better way of talking about what these events are by splitting the travel scholarships from the workshops. So Two Spirit Momentum, we're talking about the travel stuff, and Two Spirit Queericulum is the workshops that happen with the people that are traveling here. It makes sense that there's confusion around this because some of it sounds paradoxical, because we've been talking about reaching isolated Two-Spirit people in the Black Rock region and also talking about bringing in these legendary teachers. And I'm still like, which is it? And it turns out it's both. I want to stay consistent, and that is, I think we should return to pre-COVID levels of funding. So returning to 2020 levels, which was 2,500. The mix is going to be a little bit different this year because I understand, that the giving committee's already committed a certain amount to the travel scholarships. And so I think the remainder of that should go to Two Spirit Queericulum. And I want to go over how it's different and similar to what happened in 2020. So in 2020, we had curriculum happen a week before Two Spirit Momentum. So at curriculum, we did a intro to powwow workshop, a powwow etiquette workshop. This is when it was at the AIDS Foundation, and we're doing the political activist one. We had a curriculum, a full day of workshops a week before Two Spirit Momentum, which was the day after the powwow, which was kind of a native TED Talk experience, where the people that we scholarshiped in, travel scholarshiped in, were on panels and shared their expertise. And we also brought in other VIPs from the powwow, and it was in a warehouse in Southwark Market, and it was the day after the powwow, and I thought it was awesome. The thing is, back then we were kind of soft pedaling how we marketed it to white gays, and we wanted to just allow there to be a separate container and allow that demographic to caucus amongst themselves. The goal was to step back and let them step forward and interact as peers. So that was great and everything, but in the years since then, we've learned that they actually want more interaction. They want to be brought into the center of things, and they don't want to be having their own separate thing all the time. And it's a magnets not walls thing. They want a magnet to be anybody who wants to learn Two-Spirit wisdom without these walls around it saying white people stay away. So what we're trying to do is talk about the whole event series in a way that invites white gays who care about learning things about Two-Spirit wisdom. In the past, we had our guests stay in people's guest bedrooms. Coop hosted Dean, and we had other people host in other areas, but people were scattered around the city. And this time, we have a dormitory, which is really exciting. It's the Haight-Ashbury Urban Retreat Center, which has a gymnasium, an auditorium, a commercial kitchen, and they've got bunk beds and bedrooms and cots, and it's really a fabulous facility. We have this dormitory for the entire powwow week, so all those Bates events that are happening every day, our guests can stay in the dorm and then go to all those things. And then we're adding certain workshops where we're asking them to teach and whatever. Significant pages in this book are dedicated to a Pyramid Lake guy who did some major stuff for the National Two-Spirit movement. So we're going to talk about that book with that guy the day after the powwow. We're going to be talking about all of that in a book panel featuring the people that are actually in the book and talking about what it means the day after the powwow, and a Two Spirit TED Talk style series of panels. It's really exciting, and it's a great opportunity. Yeah, so the big difference is that we're really implementing Magnets Not Walls this year. The theme of this event series is what can modern queers learn from Two Spirit wisdom. So anybody who's interested in Two Spirit wisdom can come on in. It's not about only for natives. Comfort and Joy can leverage this in many ways. So the main way that I feel like Comfort and Joy can leverage this is that it can be a grounding experience in this time of big change. So taking a pause on the burn is a big change. And there's not a lot of opportunities for community discussion. Let's just say it, Purple Circle meetings are flawed. It's hard to have a real in-depth discussion there that hits all the targets we would like to see in a discussion. So I think that we should take advantage of the fact that we have this access to this retreat center for an entire week with all these different meeting rooms, and we could leverage this event by having discussion groups about what Comfort and Joy could do, has done, will do, past, present, future, all the things. It's an opportunity for us to have those discussions about where we are, where we're going, who wants to do what, all those things. This announcement around Burning Man has people confused about a lot of things, and they think that we're perhaps disbanding, which I don't believe to be the case. So by organizing an educational event, it shows folks that we are just regrouping. And Sunday, February 4th is actually a great day to do that because it's really a light day for Native programming. It's the first Sunday of the 2 weekends, so the powwow's on the 10th. We're the first guests arrive on the 3rd. We don't really have a lot of programming on Sunday, so we could actually use all the meeting rooms for discussion groups on Sunday, February 4th. So we have this urban retreat center, and we can do all kinds of things with it. We have this great building. People who are working on the trays or the food for touch can use the commercial kitchen to get ready, for instance. There's rooms that we can make ready for craft rooms, so people can work on art together. So it's more than just a space for discussion. It can also be a space for preparation and things like that. So here's a part where I talk about where it all means and why do we care. First of all, geography. We're talking about natives from the region around the Black Rock Desert, north and south of the desert. So in one of the documents from 2020, you'll see that there's kind of badly written explanation of this that I put together, talking about how Clyde Hall and his tribe is from the north part of Black Rock Desert, and then Randy Burns and his tribes, his bands of Paiutes were south of the desert near Pyramid Lake. And it's really interesting all the connections that exist there, because it turns out that Harry Hay based a lot of his insights that he started the Radical Fairies on these particular tribes' teachings. As they talk about in this book, Reclaiming Two Spirits, which actually spends several pages talking about the Pyramid Lake Two Spirits and what they did for the national Two Spirit movement. So it's relevant that way, and it's also an opportunity for us to continue relationships we already have, like Dean Barley's camp with us. He's going to be coming from Pyramid Lake, staying in this dormitory that we have at the retreat center. Clyde Hall had a vision in the 70s that the native and non-native queers needed to work together to change the world, and that's one of the reasons why he's organized a dance for all people, both at Short Mountain Sanctuary and at Wolf Creek, which is a Radical Fairy sanctuary. And back in the day, Comfort and Joy started by bringing Radical Fairy vibes out to the playa. These are direct relationships here. There's other exciting ways that Comfort and Joy can leverage this too. For example, the Two Spirit elder whose work in Reclaiming Two Spirits from Pyramid Lake actually has this beautiful family allotment on the reservation. It has a stream in the middle of the desert, like water. It has willow trees. It has rose bushes and raspberry bushes and birds chirping and green things growing. And the stream goes for more than a mile on his allotment, and it's gorgeous, and it's a perfect camping site for Comfort and Joy people if we wanted to do a retreat there. Guess where it is? Halfway between Nixon and Gerlach. So we could actually go there in the off season and take advantage of this. It's so beautiful. It's not a requirement. It's an option. So I highly recommend people think about going out there in the off season. Thank you for considering this proposal. And I hope that we can work together. It'll be really a great experience. I do believe in this. So thank you.